I'm Mr. Christmas. I did it all. Bought all the food, cooked all the food,
Right,
wrapped all the presents.
now you're taking it a bit far when you call yourself Mr. Christmas.
I'm Mr. Christmas. Hi, I'm Mr. Christmas.
See, I know Mrs. Crook is in the cinema and not listening, so I'm getting away with it.
Yeah. Just talk nonsense and then she'll never grass you. Enzo Maresca yesterday was sort of saying afterwards, this is the reason why Chelsea can't win the title. Was he being truthful there? I mean, is there anyone else who's thinking that actually they can't be in the title race up until yesterday? I mean, if they'd won yesterday, they would be within 3 points or 4 points of Liverpool. Arsenal can go second today. Is there actually a title race going on here, or is everyone sort of dropping aside and leaving Liverpool to it?
I think that game did lay it bare for Chelsea, and actually I was commentating the game with Alvin Martin, and as we started the second half, I said the one thing Chelsea usually do is concede. And they did, of course.
Well, they always concede.
They conceded twice. So defensively, I think they're a little bit off it in terms of winning the title.
Well, we've been saying this to you for ages, and you've been batting it back saying they're in the title race.
Well, I've been trying to get you to admit it.
We just tell you the truth.
I think they're too reliant on Cole Palmer, who scored a simply sensational, breathtaking goal to give them the lead. Nicolas Jackson, I think he's not quite there yet in terms of the finished product.
Somebody else has been saying that for a while.
He disappeared from the game. He disappeared from the game yesterday.
He still scored a lot of goals.
Yeah.
He's not in double figures yet, is he, in the Premier League? I think he's got 9 in the Premier League.
I think the problem with him is it's not the fact that he scores, it's the chances he misses.
Right.
And the moments, those big moments when you need a goal, he just never fills you with confidence that he's going to be the one to deliver. Decision
making as well. There was an instant, I think in the second half, Cole Palmer had the ball and he could have played it through to Nicolas Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He didn't because Nicolas Jackson had put himself in an offside position. So Cole Palmer very intelligently turned backwards.
Sorry, this is a running thing where Matterface has convinced me that he's now changed from being offside all the time. So go on, please.
He is much better.
But that shows you the difference in terms of football intelligence between the two. Yeah. Jackson's got himself offside. Cole Palmer has spotted it.
He had to go round the rope.
Backwards.
But actually, do you know what? It's interesting you say that because as I was watching the game, I was thinking exactly the same thing. But then Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, who was on Co-Coms on the television.
You weren't listening to talkSPORT too?
I was on the treadmill at the time.
Unbelievable.
She was saying that actually there was a player deep in the half who wasn't on the screen, but actually I think was playing Jackson onside.
Yeah, but he's not going to see that though, is he?
It looked offside to us, to me and Alvin.
But more importantly,
can you not listen to the radio on the treadmill then? You're too focused.
I was too focused, yeah.
I just think more importantly, when you
I listened to your first half and I was disappointed. So
that's why you got on the treadmill. No, I just think with Chelsea, I've said it from the start. I think the goalkeeper in the defending situation is an issue, and I think they've not got enough goals in Nicolas Jackson.
And if anything happens to Cole Palmer, they're in big trouble, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, you said it earlier, they're Cole Palmer FC, and I said to you, well, that's fine, he's great.
Yeah. We haven't mentioned it, by the way, when it comes to Man City. We talked about where it's gone wrong. Selling him is a massive error of judgment.
Yeah, you say that, and Adrian and I talked about this yesterday on the programme, but at the time, was he going to go into that team and play week in, week out? He wanted to play football.
Yeah.
And that team then went on and won the league.
Fair, but you've got to look a little bit further ahead than that, haven't you?
And does he fit? Where does he fit into the Manchester City team? Last year, let's say that they're all guns blazing. Where did he fit into the Manchester City team? He's a bit of a maverick player. Yeah. He's a bit of a free spirit.
Was that the problem?
Maybe. Yeah. The whole thing's built around him, and it's designed for him to flourish. Great.
It wasn't at the start, though, was it? If you remember,
exactly.
They were playing him wide.
Adapt,
they were figuring it out. And I just think they're a young team.
They are
really a young team, so they've got to get used to being in these positions. The one thing that I noticed yesterday after coverage was Cole Palmer's frustration starting to come out with the decision making of people, and when they're trying to win games, it's like still really slow and passive, and he's trying to be like, think for yourselves, let's try and win. I wonder how he's going to deal with teams now putting 2 and 3 on him, because that's what's going to start happening, and how does he adapt, not getting more and more frustrated.
What about Liverpool? You were there last night. Is it theirs to throw away?
Yeah, you know why they're so scary, Sam? Because I'm watching them. They're methodical. They get it done, but you just feel like there's another level. There's still more to come. You haven't seen them flustered once. You haven't seen them chasing it. It's a scary sight.
So even when they went 1-0 down yesterday, you were saying on the radio, this is still a very dominant Liverpool performance. At no point, even when they went 1-0 down, did you think to yourself, this is going to go the other way for them today?
No, it would have to be I think Benty did the game against Forest when I think they had, was it like 20-odd shots, and he was like, they can be here all day and they're never going to score. It'd have to be one of those type of games. The way they were moving it from left to right, the precision of the passing, the pace and tempo of the ball, the big switches, there was no way Leicester those players on the pitch could stay on and keep up with that. Also, the keeper had an unbelievable game for Leicester. Yeah. And his first start.
It was a big call from Ruben Nistelrooy to do
absolutely.
That, but it was the right call, wasn't it?
Yeah, but his first start, you're thinking, oh my God, is he going to have a great day? And they're tipping it around the post. But then the quality, James Justin kept letting Gakpo come in on his right hand side, and you're like, it was like when we did Brighton, mate, and he kept coming on his right foot and he was shooting. Hit 3 or 4 in the first 15 minutes. It went miles over, but he was like he was getting his range, and then as soon as he did it, just before half-time, he hit it, you were like, goal.
I'll tell you what, you were talking about squad depth earlier. They've got that, haven't they? Because Salah aside, their 2 best players at Spurs at the weekend were Szoboszlai and Diaz.
They're both on the bench.
Both on the bench.
And Jota came on.
And it didn't really make a huge difference. So he can rotate the squad as well, whereas Chelsea do rotate the squad in terms of players in Europe, but they're not really getting a look in the Premier League.
Well, you
look
at the bench yesterday. It looked a bit thin, didn't it?
It
did look thin.
Yeah.
Liverpool conceded 9 goals in the last 4 league games, although they have scored 14. I wonder whether or not when you play a higher calibre of team, they'll maybe have to tweak that, because they're conceding a lot of goals really for a team that are top of the league. 11 away from home, that's quite a lot.
Yeah, I just feel that
Tottenham have only conceded 9 away from home. I
just felt that they played to the level of the opposition
right at
the moment. That's how it felt watching it. There's a few mistakes, like there was one where Joe Gomez in the second first half goes running after somebody. There's no need. He literally opened up the space, and Madueke played it, but Daka just was on his heels. It would have been 1v1. But he tried to go running after somebody down the right-hand side, and he kind of ran past Trent to do it. Just left a massive space in the middle of the pitch. I think when they get Konate back, that for me will be job done. The only concern I have with Liverpool is the amount of games we've got to play in January and February.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.